Hello everybody, welcome to Bad Big Games. I'm your host Joseph. Today I just picked up the GameStop PowerUp Pro Elite card, and let me tell you something, I see a long, prosperous life for this membership card. So it seems like GameStop's PowerUp Pro Elite card is the next membership card on the chopping block. It joins the likes of Best Buy's Gamer Club card of being non-existent. As of August 1st, it has officially ended. And so before we talk about why it ended and what this means for GameStop, I got to talk about what this card did and if there was some type of value to it. So what was in the GameStop PowerUp Pro Elite card? So in the spirit of fairness, this card is the third tier of membership you can obtain at GameStop. The first free card is that. It's free. It's what you see at every retailer, whether it's Best Buy, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Target, hell, even your supermarket. Anything you buy, you get points. When you accumulate enough, you could go out there, get a coupon to get something off, whatever the case may be. Then you have the Pro card, which I think most gamers know, and it's the thing that GameStop constantly pushes. It's the card where you pay $14.99 for the whole entire year. You get your exclusive coupons, you get your Game Informer, you get 10% off of all pre-owned games, you get 10% more of all the games you trade into GameStop. It's the thing that most people are aware of. And then you have the Pro card, a $29.99 card, essentially doing most things the Pro card does, gives you a couple more exclusive deals, and sometimes every month I think there's like an exclusive sale, but other than that, it gives you just an extra 10% off pre-owned games and an extra 10% more towards your trade-in values. So that's what you got out of this card. And my personal relationship with the GameStop PowerUp Pro memberships is actually kind of funny. I used to work at GameStop, as you may know, and when I started working there is when they started pushing the PowerUp Pro cards, when they got rid of their old memberships. I can't even remember what they were called. And we were actually, it was like my first or second week there, we were trained on what the cards were, when they were coming out, and what to say to sell people on these cards. So I remember verbatim, like when I was reading the list here, I was just like, yep, it triggered something in my mind of this is like the salesman moment. So for me, I understand the card and how it works rather well. And even going past that, even past the rewards card memberships, I've been a member of their card even prior when I was a kid in GameStop, and I still am. Again, I bought that card because it was free for me because I had enough points apparently, and my friend needed the sale, so I helped him out. But with that said, when it comes to value of this card, other stores did it better. Like Best Buy's Gamer Club card, oh my goodness. I'm so sad to see it go because it was too good for us. Like $29.99 was the price of Best Buy's card, and you go, wow, Joe, that's really overpriced. But that's for 2 years, and you get 20% off of every single game, whether it's new or used. And whatever else it did, that was fantastic. But that's what I remember it for, and that's what everybody else did. And people went in and they bought it like crazy. But the fact of the matter is, the reason why the Gamers Club failed is that it was new games. It was also pre-owned as well, but it was often new games. And when you're selling new games, you know, the fact of the matter is, you don't really make money off of new games. You just don't. You make maybe 10, maybe $5 off of a new title, but it's about the attachments. It's about selling the edition, upselling people, right? It's about selling that season pass. It's about selling the socks, the Funko Pops, that product protection plan that they always tell you for only $3. The disc doesn't spin in your PlayStation 4, but for whatever reason, your kid snaps it in half, bring it back. God, I remember, again, it was giving me Vietnam flashbacks of when I sold this card. You know, that's what these retailers are hoping for, is that these membership cards, the whole point is to get you in the door and sell you something else. So seeing the Gamers Club card fail, I saw it coming because it was too good for us. Even seeing things like the Amazon pre-order bonuses start fading away and have some restrictions to it, like popular games like Destiny, popular games like Battlefield or Call of Duty, probably even Red Dead, we'll find out later down the line. You don't get those pre-order bonuses. You don't get that 20% off of. You don't get 20% off of if you pre-order remakes or remasters anymore, or you don't get 20% off of limited editions because Amazon doesn't see the point anymore, because you're going to go to Amazon either way out of sheer convenience. So when I see this card, and when we first saw this card, it wasn't, let's be honest, we read the list, unless you're only buying used stuff, this card isn't worth it. It just isn't. Like, you get a welcoming collectibles card, like coupon. How does that help me? I don't know. I have too many statues as it is. Like, if you're buying just exclusive pre-owned stuff, that's awesome. And that's good for you. That's great. Keep on doing it, this card, and I feel bad for you. But other than that, just, it wasn't that great to begin with. So I can see why this went the way of the dinosaurs, but also to see that this was not even out for a year, guys. This actually came out, I believe, last year, end of August, beginning of September, and seeing it less than a year just fizzle out. And GameStop, I mean, give them the benefit of the doubt here. They gave you a 24-hour notice of, hey, if you want this card, come to our stores today, because it's done. It is a sucky feeling. And I think what a lot of people take away from this, and I hope it's really not the case, is that, well, this means GameStop's over. This means GameStop's dunzos, it's dead. It's what I've seen in every single GameStop video I make. Again, I'm an ex-employee. I should fucking hate the store, and in fact, I kind of do. But the fact of the matter is, this doesn't mean that GameStop's over. This doesn't mean it's the canary in the coal mine, or that, yeah, you know, GameStop's days are numbered. GameStop's days are numbered, but it's not because they're Pro Card. What I see the problem with the Pro Card is A, it wasn't a good offer, wasn't a good deal, it wasn't good enough to justify a $29.99 price point, and also, like I said in the beginning of this video, 3 memberships. What are you, a gym? Like, that doesn't make really any sense if you're going into a retail environment. I've seen employees struggle of even selling the card to people because they're like, oh, we have this card and then we have this card. And people kind of get a little confused. And so what I've seen from some of my GameStop buddies is they're like, you know, we usually just sell the Pro Card because it's the easier thing to sell, because people get that way more than this Elite card. And when we mention the Elite card, people get a little confused. And even the marketing for this thing, like GameStop, PowerUp, Pro, Elite card. It's like, wow, that's a mouthful. I mean, like, I'll take you behind closed doors here. Man, how many takes it took me to say that right? Because I have PlayStation on the brain every time I hear Pro. So to me, there was a number of things of why this didn't work. GameStop's ineptitude isn't really one of them in terms of their business is failing. I think what GameStop really needs to do is, instead of focusing on their memberships, and I say this all the time, they need to focus on their, not just customers, their employees. I know in the tri-state area, GameStops are known for having a toxic work environment. And I know also when it comes to hours, it's hard to come by, especially nowadays. Right after I left, that's when they started slashing stores' hours. And what really sucked is a lot of stores, a ton of stores, their hours got cut because they couldn't sell this Elite card. And so I see a lot of times there's a manager in the day, assistant manager in the afternoon, and sometimes you get some relief. But other than that, there's always maybe 1, maybe 2 people in the store. Maybe there's some overlap, but usually it's just one person behind the desk from what I've seen. And that's the thing that really is depressing, because what GameStop's biggest strength is not these PowerUp cards. It's not their member cards. It's the fact that you can offer them the personal experience. The fact of the matter is I don't like using Amazon. I'll be completely honest with you. Half the times for me, the experiences I've had when I order a game, it does not come out day one. I ordered Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z, and it came, the day one edition came 2 weeks late for me. And that's just the first of many times. I think the only game that I pre-ordered from them that I actually got day one was Metal Gear Solid. but out of the times I've actually pre-ordered for them, I don't get the game, or even sometimes don't even get the deal. So when it comes to the personal element, that's what brick and mortar stores have. They have the, get people who are passionate about selling the product or just overall nice to people. And I think you find that if you have and offer that personal element, if there's not just one person behind the desk doing everything, and you have a conversation with your customers, those customers end up going back. I go to my new GameStop I go to all the time because the people are genuinely really great. I forget that I'm supporting this awful company, but I end up supporting what is this awesome team of people. And I think that's what GameStop really needs to focus on. Again, I don't think this is the beginning of the end for GameStop just because this elite card is over, but I do think GameStop needs to take a look in the mirror of what's working and what's not. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think this elite card was worth it? Were you a fan of it? There is no wrong answers here at Bad Big Games. It's all about the conversation. So please let me know in the comments below. And here at Bad Big Games, we talk about all things video games, not just GameStop, not just Xbox, not just PlayStation, not just Nintendo, but the gaming industry that we know and we love. And so if you like this video, if you love these news, rants, opinion pieces, first impressions, unboxings, I do a podcast, The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Check that out every Wednesday. And with all that said, and with all that out of the way, last but not leastly, I want to thank the Patreon, patreon.com/makeusbetter, where you guys make this show possible and you make this show better day in, day out. Thank you all so much. You guys mean so much to me. It's crazy. I love you all. And now with that said, with that out of the way, keep your wits about you and have a nice one.